I just got word from my partner over at Mint Mobile. They brought back the deal. Really good deal. All right, so let me just get myself out of the way here. Let me tell you guys what's going on. They brought back the best value in wireless in the game. Not exaggerating. This deal is so good. You pick the plan, any plan you want. $15 a month. Mint Mobile has the best pricing when it comes to these wireless deals. Of course, you're getting access to a really good network. Come on, man. Let's keep it real, man. How many networks are as fast and capacitive as T-Mobile's? Real talk, man. So you get this really fast network access with this really good bargain, with this really good deal. You pick the plan. What I would recommend is trying the unlimited plan, right? Gets you the most gigs. Man, that is a good price. $15 a month. So you pick the plan. Like I said, I recommend the unlimited. Get you into the 3-month plan. Now, just keep in mind, there are terms to this, right? It's a new customer offer. So, if you've used them before, maybe you got a new phone or something, sign up, try it. Guys, I'm telling you, if you haven't tried the T-Mobile network in a long time and you've been hesitant because of the pricing, then this is your best option. All right. It really can't be beat. And we're proud to partner with them. Just use our partner link. It's down in the description in the box. It's mintmobile.com/Sneed. You use that and it supports the channel, obviously. And it really is the best value in the game, guys. Really is. Anyway, so I just want to let you guys know that the deal is back. Partner reached out to let us know, and we just want to let people know about it. And then there's other things that you could check out. They got phone deals and things, and they're aggressive. They're promotionally active. Oh damn! Looks like somebody bought me a coffee. Yo, who bought me a coffee? I have no idea. Somebody did. Thank you, whoever bought me a coffee. You are a G. I can't tell though, but somebody did. Big salute to whoever bought me the coffee. You're the best. Keep the SMT caffeinated and motivated. That link is in the description as well. Thank you. All right. I guess I need to come back in here, right? Pete says, need to get you going on OBS. Could just hide the face cam layer. Well, I can bring me back in here. Oh, yeah. All right. I know a lot of you have Comcast, and that's why I want to cover the story. Get you guys in the know. Luke over at cordcuttersnews.com has it for us. Hey, thanks, P. Absolutely, man. That'd be great to have you in the CLE. Give me a coffee, man. Okay, so Comcast has given free speed boost to millions of internet customers. Oh, goody, goody. This news was from a couple days ago. Let's see what they're doing. And Cord Cutters News got the ads on there. Comcast announced that millions of customers of its Xfinity internet service will be getting free speed boost nationwide. Speed boost increases for new and future customers at no additional cost. Okay, so that's kind of messed up. What about existing customers? Doesn't look like they're getting that boost. Streaming live sports, gaming, and other data-rich apps are driving internet consumption to new heights. I agree. People need more speed than ever. Regularly increased speeds over the past 2 decades to provide customers with connectivity they need to power their increasingly connected lives. Shout out to Dennis, who definitely has mentioned this before about Comcast, that every so often they do increase speeds on, tiers and plans. Let's see here. So they got these plans highlighted here. I'll go ahead and put them in blue. They got the Connect plan, which is going from 75 to 150 megs. The Connect More going from 200 to 300. Those are nice increases. The first one doubles, and the second one improves by like 50%. The Fast tier goes from 400 to 500, and then Xfinity Prepaid goes from 50 to 200, which might be the move for some of you out there. Pretty sure Comcast got hacked, didn't they? I think they did. All right, so you got T-Mobile 5G home internet, right? They're poking and prying their way to get these customers. Verizon 5G home internet, they're doing the same, right? So I'm not saying it's directly connected, to those services, but it's definitely a factor. You know what, Pete? I'm not sure what the uploads are, and think about it, right? Like, these are DOCSIS technologies. Not many folks probably have access to the fiber from Comcast yet. I would say that some of those upload speeds are going to be as low as 10 meg, and some of them will probably be as fast as maybe 20 or 30 meg. I'm sure that matters to some people, but not everybody cares about upload. They just need enough, video calls and whatever else. Oh, 5 megs, Pete? Damn. That ain't cutting it, man. I could see that 75 meg connect plan being about 5 meg upload. Hopefully by boosting the download to 150, they also boost the upload to like 10. In my opinion, I think wireline connections need to have at least 50 meg uplink. Just saying, if it's a wireline, because we got wireless 5G home internet now doing 20, 30, 40, 50 uplink. And if it's millimeter wave, it's like 200 uplink, Anyways, that's the news from Comcast. That lets you guys know if you're a Comcast customer or you're in the business or you're in the market to maybe move to Comcast now, you could take advantage of those deals. All right, people, let's pivot. The FCC will vote on ending cable TV's hidden fees next week. Damn, are we really going to see this go away? All right, so here's the situation. The FCC will decide on a set of proposed rules that, if passed, will require satellite and cable TV providers to clarify all-in prices clearly so consumers can make informed decisions when signing up for the services. Now on March 14th, the FCC will vote on all-in pricing for cable TV companies. The rules strive to call what the FCC calls a misleading practice of listing additional costs as a tax, fee, or surcharge. Yeah, that's been pretty damn annoying. When you look at the way they structure these bills and stuff, it's pretty damn annoying. They got like a list of different fees, and some of them are called fees, and some of them are surcharges, and some of them are taxes or whatever. I agree. Look, I've been very critical of the FCC as of late. Shout out to Tito in the live chat. I've been really critical of them. This is the one thing that I would love to see happen, and I would salute the FCC when they do this and execute it, because this gives the ability of the consumer to be informed, properly informed before they make purchasing decisions. That way they know exactly what they're paying for, exactly the structure and the cost of the services that they want. Ricky, I agree, man. They've done nothing but drop the ball on so many occasions. But this could be one of those exceptions where they actually do something right. Here's the quote from Jessica Rosenworcel, the acting chair or the official chair, whatever she is anymore. I don't know. We're putting an end to this form of price masking. Good. I'm really happy about this. Anytime the FCC is doing anything good, that's a win. They're doing something, that's a win. And anytime they're sticking the boots to cable, count me in. Good stuff from the FCC on cable TV, and satellite TV. Okay, wow, the pace of the show is excellent. I'd like to get through everything within the hour, so this is good. All right, got to do this update, and this kind of sucks, guys, and I just want to keep you in the know. There are a lot of people out there who rely on the ACP program in order to get a subsidy for their home broadband solutions, their wireless connections, their mobile connections. And we know that the ACP is kind of in this precarious position about funding not being available, and that is a problem. Because there are some folks who simply can't afford some of the expensive home internet plans as they currently are structured. And with the subsidy, it makes it more affordable for them, and they're actually able to have a connection. So whether it's, being able to watch TV, or they're using it for work. Cost of living could be pretty pricey in some places. And for someone who's living just above the poverty line or something, like, you got to be connected, or for somebody who's on a fixed income or whatever. There's so many reasons why somebody would need the ACP. You qualify for it. You're a family that qualifies for it. It's been great, Previous to, I think, ACP, it was called, what was that thing called? I forget the letter designations now, man, but I mean it's been important to a lot of folks for years. All right, so there is a chance that the ACP program will still be supported, and find some, I don't know, some measure of success in which we can have the funding be there and available. But I guess it's viewed as an uphill struggle. There is a version of this playing out where the ACP program basically defaults, loses funding, or runs out of funding, and we don't have a renewal process to revive with funding. All indications, according to Congress's latest budget package, is that there is no planned funding for the program. There will be a vote later on in March that will probably decide the fate of whether or not it's going to be revived or reinvigorated with funding. But it says uphill battle, so to me it tells me that it looks kind of weak right now in terms of the chances of it happening. There's a series of other legislative vehicles that will likely move forward in the next few months. Time to extend the program before current ACP customers are faced with the choice of increased payments or losing service. Because here's what's going to happen, guys. If folks kind of lose the ability to get the subsidy for ACP, they have to start paying for the service full from their provider because it's not being subsidized. And if they can't afford that, the worst outcome is people will be disconnected. I think the most likely outcome, though, is that the carrier, the provider, the home ISP, whoever it is, they're going to try to work to keep you connected. So if that means getting you on a lower entry level plan, if that means getting you like, a temporary discount or something, they don't want to disconnect you. I promise you guys, carriers and ISPs don't want to disconnect you, because if they disconnect you, they've lost you as a customer. And they don't want to do that. It's better for them to get some money than to get no money from you. So they understand and they want to retain you. So if you have ACP support, if we get support renewed here very shortly, then obviously that's a win. But if we don't, you're looking for ways to try to figure things out. You're going to have to try to work with the provider. I know that recently at the earnings conferences, all these companies and their CEOs and CFOs have claimed, that they're not going to be severely impacted by ACP, customer disconnects and all that. I'm not sure about that. I think if I remember correctly, if it's not 15 million, it's like 20 million households qualify for ACP and are enrolled in the program. So there's quite a few people. Here it says Charter serves 5 million ACP recipients by themselves. That's Spectrum, right? Comment there from the homie in the live chat. What up, MS? Watch for a seismic shift if it gets out that NGOs have bled the program dry by using it for illegals. So, and these are some of the things, MS, that they would confirm my worst fears, right? The abuse of the program, because, there are folks that really rely on this. So when you have proven abuse, it leaves a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths, man, and that's a shame. Shout out to Anthony. What up, Ant? You need a social security number for it? Oh, damn. All right, well, we'll see what happens. You guys know I'm tracking it. If there's a reinvigoration to the program, if funding gets put in there, I'll be dropping news on it. You guys know I'll do a follow-up. I think this is important to the country and to the people. So I'm tracking it. All right, moving along. All right. Thanks, Ricky, man. That's really nice of you, bro. Thank you, man. You got Ricky buying me coffees. You got Ricky buying super chats, man. Thank you, bro. Ricky's a really nice guy. Shout out to RLV Tech USA, moderator, big time supporter of the channel, friend. Always taking care of his people. Big salute to him. One of the most generous guys I know, man. Nice guy. And if you guys aren't subscribed to his YouTube channel, he does do live streams. He does also, upload videos and stuff like that. I know he does some really cool and interesting and engaging drone footage videos that he does. Very nice. 2 drone videos coming out tomorrow. Excellent. So check them out. RLV Tech USA. Ricky, you can go ahead and drop the link to your channel down in the comments, in the live chat if you like. Let people know what you're doing. Guys, check him out. Subscribe if you like the content. Hang around, watch more. And I occasionally pop onto his live streams when I can. It's a good time. Thanks, Rick. All right, folks. Next story here. Humming along. Verizon, T-Mobile, Nokia get noisy on network slicing and net neutrality. Oh, man. This is a can of worms right here, man. All right, so I just want to start by saying this. I'm excited about network slicing, but not for the consumer. It doesn't really impact us too much, at least not directly. Network slicing is more about the operator, and network slicing is more about enterprise and businesses and private networks. Now, obviously, your handheld's got to be able to connect to these slices or whatever, right, to these networks. But, like, having network slicing enabled on your phone, it's not something you're monitoring. It's not a speed test. You know what I mean? But it's a cool feature that I think can be leveraged for a lot of different use cases. When we doing that Patreon cast, I don't know, Pete. We should do that pretty soon, man. Maybe this weekend or next weekend if you find time. So whatever you got, man. All right. Placing unnecessary restrictions on this technology could stifle it in its infancy. Verizon wrote of network slicing. Uh-oh. The FCC's back with their net neutrality thing, man. Here we go. The FCC doing FCC things. All right, network slicing arose as a major topic at this year's big MWC Barcelona confab. Companies ranging from Ericsson to Telefonica to Nokia promised to create slices of their network that sport, quote, enhanced performance characteristics. Ooh, we like those. However, many of those same companies are warning that a renewed push toward net neutrality in the U.S. could stymie such innovations. Quote, slicing will be critical to enabling enterprise cases, providing network solutions for many use cases for which a standalone, purpose-built network is not feasible. That's from Nokia. And this was 2 FCC officials, including the FCC chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel. Nokia further noted that slicing can be implemented entirely consistent with core principles of network neutrality, the company added. See, this is what I'm saying. You have the FCC, which has 5 representatives, and I don't think any of them truly understand what network slicing is. So they're coming in looking to try to, quote-unquote, regulate network slicing. A little bit misplaced. You should probably understand the technology and then start to investigate the use cases and then make an evaluation if it should be regulated by the FCC. When I think about network slicing, it's not relevant to consumer experiences. It's relative to the use cases and specific parameters of experience. So if anything, it's going to enable enhanced experiences. It's going to make things better. Does it need to be regulated at the onset? Well, how about you see the way it plays out? I don't know. Maybe understand the technology first. I don't know. So maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I feel like they should be a little bit more informed about these types of things. Network slicing is a promising technology that will help drive exciting network innovation and enable new capabilities and services for the benefit of consumers in ways that previously were only possible over wireline networks. See, Verizon's saying all the right things, right? And they're right. You know, trying to stymie it doesn't make any sense. So I think they should understand it first and then kind of explore what needs to be regulated if there's something there. T-Mobile kicked off the debate late last year by warning that network slicing is a prime example of a cutting-edge tech that would be negatively affected by regulatory uncertainty. See, even T-Mobile's pushing back, right? You know, and I'm saying, Tito, like, what else could you ask for? Good information, driving good decisions. You know what I mean? not having the information, jumping to conclusions, making bad decisions. The quote here from Shailen Sehgal, top executive with Australian operator Telstra. This solves a critical piece in the puzzle to deploying 5G slicing to enterprise customers across different industries, ensuring transparency, accountability around specific speeds and uptime as part of the network slice. You guys, I think what the FCC assumes is that network slices are going to create peasant level experiences and then there's going to be, luxury based experiences. So basically what the FCC thinks is there's going to be a Mercedes-Benz network slice, and then there's going to be, the lepers and the peasants, like us, the consumers or something. But it's not really the way it's going to be, and I just think it's kind of misplaced. But you know what the FCC understands, though? The FCC understands that carriers in the past, they haven't been transparent about stuff. Carriers in the past have not been honest about stuff. Carriers in the past have done some pretty shady things, and they know what they're capable of. So I'm not mad at the FCC for, intervening and asking questions, but they should understand the technology before they start regulating it. Maybe read some papers. Maybe get some advisors. Oh, what an idea. I know a guy. Get some people that know the technologies to advise you, to guide you, right? Clue you in on things. Some disagree that the FCC needs to make a special carve-out for network slicing. For example, Consumer Interest Association Public Knowledge wrote to the FCC that, quote, an ISP cannot favor a particular service by relabeling it as, quote, specialized. Newer technologies like network slicing do not change this. An evasion of the Commission's rules is an evasion of the Commission's rules, regardless of the technology it's used. All right, so in my humble opinion, I don't see anything wrong with this statement. These are advocacy groups that distrust ISPs. So I'm good with this comment. They could probably have some of this tempered, some of the distrust, if there was more transparency about how the network slicing would work and how it would be executed, for customers. But like I said, we got to see how this plays out. Should there be rules in place? Should there be, regulation and stuff? Absolutely. But you're not going to get there just by, splattering poop all over the place and calling names and all that. It's going to be through collaboration. It's going to be through working together, meetings, communication, things of that nature. Because network slicing has the potential to be really awesome. Not necessarily consumer facing directly, but it has the potential to be very good. Thanks, MS. Oh, that makes me happy. I can't tell you, man. Absolutely. Gotcha. Good stuff. Good stuff. Put a smile on my face, MS. Appreciate you, man. Oh, man. Here we go. You guys see this thing on the screen? Oh, man. Let me tell you guys why I'm excited and why I think this is great. The telecompetitor story here indicates that Verizon Business Internet has a new fixed wireless access device. Look, you guys know, anybody who's been following my channel, watching videos recently, and in videos that go back a couple of years ago, I'm big on fixed wireless access. Fixed wireless access is taking the fight to cable. New competitors, better pricing, the uptime competition, right? Customer care competition. It's all part of the equation. This is a business solution from Verizon now that's seeing an upgraded new version of the gateway. Very excited about this. Carl's got the story, telecompetitor. Verizon Business Internet, which is the carrier's fixed wireless access business offering, has introduced a Wi-Fi 7 compatible internet gateway and a tri-band 5G receiver. Okay, before I even get into these details, let me tell you why this is cool. Wi-Fi 7 means it's cutting edge. It's got the most recent, Wi-Fi 7 capability. My Lambo isn't Wi-Fi 7. I got Wi-Fi 6E. I don't know if the mesh add-ons can support Wi-Fi 7. They probably can, but this is cool. This is really nice. And it's, this is business grade, right? So it's got that cool capability, and there's probably some new hardware that some businesses are going to be utilizing. This is why I like Verizon when it comes to fixed wireless. This is pretty cool, right? I really do like this. It says here it supports both 5G C-band and Wi-Fi 7. The carrier clearly is enthusiastic about Wi-Fi 7, which it says offers increased bandwidth, accelerated connectivity, and greater reliability and responsiveness. Now, I will be completely honest with you guys about the whole Wi-Fi 7 piece. You got to be close to the gateways and the routers. You might need to stretch the signal. You might have to get additional access points or repeaters and stuff like that, just due to the higher frequency nature of the channel. But it's going to be a cleaner channel, right? There's going to be less users on that channel, less devices. So, that's pretty exciting. That's good stuff here. Company said that the self-installable router from Verizon Business Internet has an intuitive UX design, external antenna ports aimed at simplifying installations, and an enlarged footprint. All right, cool. So that means, you can connect additional antennas to improve the gain, increase, boost the gain, and then that gets you better performance. Yeah, Ricky says 320 megahertz plus the additional, I think 160. Yeah. Yeah, Ricky and 77. Shout out to Tana. What up, Tana? All right, the gateways features. All right, let's see if any of these are important to you guys. All right, so download link is 4x4 MIMO for all LTE and NR bands. All right, so what that means is you're going to be getting cutting edge technology that's going to give you the most capacity and throughput, right? So that's great. 4 carrier aggregation on NR bands. So that tells me, since it's got the 4 channels that can be combined at the same time, you probably have yourself a modem that's pretty modern, right? So this is a new piece of hardware. This is not some old piece of junk that they're just relabeling. This is pretty new. So 4 carrier aggregation means you get a 100 megahertz of N77, an additional channel of N77, 40, 60, 80, 100, whatever. And then you're getting the additional, N5, N2, N66, whatever the Verizon is doing over there. 4 carrier, right? Fantastic. 4 sub miniature version A SMA ports for external antennas, right? So you can get the gain boosted. 2.5 gig WAN port. Okay. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention, it said it's tri-band. I'm guessing that it's capable of supporting mmWave. That's pretty slick. That's the fast stuff, And you got the 4-channel aggregation. And then it says accessories that include battery backup, wall mount, and external antenna mounting hardware. So this can go outside. This can go up inside in a window. And it's got battery backup. This is a great solution. See, this is why the Verizon business option might be better for some folks. Not to poo-poo on AT&T's business fixed wireless solution or T-Mobile's. I'm not putting any of those down. What I'm saying is this would be the pinnacle of fixed wireless access for business. You've got the most updated Wi-Fi technology. You've got the most updated modem technology, right? The most updated channels and all the capabilities, backup power. This is a good piece of equipment. So if you're a serious business and you need something like this, that's the move. That's a really good piece of hardware. And that's not something you see a lot from these carriers. They don't typically invest into their gateways like this. So this is really cool. Now I'm assuming, Verizon's business pricing is going to be premium. But you're getting a really good piece of hardware. You're getting better support. You're paying for it, right, to get that good service. What does it say here? Here's the official support for Verizon mmWave, C-band, and even LTE Cat 21. And I think that's the highest Cat rating, isn't it? It says optimized for both indoor and outdoor. I told you guys. Man, that's really cool. The battery backup's sweet, man. Ricky, I wonder if this is X70 modem. I don't know. It didn't say directly, but Maybe if we could find like the FCC listing for it, we could probably figure it out. Oh, LT is 24. Okay, well, it's Cat 21. Close. That's pretty cool, man. Look at that thing with those antennas. That thing's sweet. I'd have that thing mounted outside, man. Straight up. If it's got water resistance, and that's pretty cool stuff, man. Especially if I was trying to get the millimeter wave. Yeah, it does look kind of cool, Ricky. Absolutely. Looks mean. Right? It's got those antennas and stuff. Very cool. All right, pivoting over to this next story. The FCC and the New York State Attorney General are probing the AT&T outage. I just want to update this because I'm pretty sure I dropped the video last week on this, but there's an update to it. Okay, so the FCC obviously is running a formal investigation into the service disruption over at AT&T. It impacted, FirstNet, first responders. It impacted consumer customers, business customers. Nobody, was safe from the AT&T outage a couple weeks ago. The New York Attorney General is also investigating. All right, so that's another thing. The operator already talking to the SEC and the U.S. government about the disruption impacting over 70,000 customers. All right, so most recent updates. We have commentary from the FCC on the probe. Quote, the FCC is carrying out a thorough investigation into a nationwide outage of the AT&T network that affected millions of customers and disrupted access to life-saving communications. As a next step to that ongoing inquiry, the agency has requested more in-depth information from AT&T concerning the cause and effect and the company's response to the incident. Given the sensitive nature of this matter, we will not comment further on the details of the investigation. Another update, and this one actually was from earlier today too. It says here that there is intensity to the probe of AT&T's outage. The industry routinely cooperates with our key regulators in the aftermath of serious outages to evaluate how network resiliency and reliability can be improved. That's according to AT&T. That's probably all the AT&T attorneys are going to say. Here's a comment from Jeff McElfresh. He said, we do these kinds of things hundreds of times a night in the maintenance window, and it was the incorrect application of a process that created this problem. He said that AT&T is already and will continue having discussions with the SEC and portions of the government on the outage. All right, so no real new information there. I don't see anything specific. I know that we have heard certain things about the cause of the outage. We know that it was a big scale. We know that it sucked. People couldn't get through trying to call their folks, business lines. We know that AT&T was giving out credits and all that. But, they can probe and all that stuff. It doesn't appear to be, cyber attack based. It doesn't seem that way. I mean, who knows? I don't wear tinfoil hats, and my name isn't Alex Jones. You know what I mean? But I take stuff at face value only because I'm not in there. I'm not there internally to know exactly what's real. So I don't have to sit there, comment, and speculate on the cause. But what they told us is what they told us. We know the scale of the outage. They should continue, to monitor these types of updates or whatever the hell they were doing anymore. There's so many things, right? You got the modernizing of a network. You've got core operations. You've got updates to routing. You've got all types of stuff that could have caused this. Who knows what it was? I have no clue. But I will tell you this, that outage lasted a long time. And whatever mitigations were in place in case there was a failure like this, obviously weren't good enough. So whether it falls on the responsibility of certain folks, or it was on the vendor, or whatever it was, right? It should probably look to see if you're going to have an outage, how do you keep it from being 8, 10, 12 hours long? That was really the issue. If someone doesn't have connectivity for an hour or two early in the morning, it's not the end of the world, right? But as the day goes on, you're trying to get connections and you can't, right? And you go to work, you might be able to get access to Wi-Fi. Some people were saying that not even Wi-Fi calling was working. I don't even know how that happens. What, are you going to blame Microsoft for that? I don't know. Who do you blame for that, Pete? You can't get Wi-Fi calling to work. You blame John Stanky, Jeff McElfresh? Who do you blame, man? All right, we are cooking with gas. All right, what's this one? We got 2 more stories left. All right, here's one. All right, you said it's Samsung. All right. All right, Verizon isn't playing the satellite game like T-Mobile and AT&T. I made a video about this, and maybe some of you caught it, and maybe some of you didn't. But AT&T is dumping money into the research along with AST to have satellite services for their network. That's been going on for a couple of years now. Hey, I've been saying for a long time, I thought AST was furthest along when it came to the satellite to phone connectivity. All right, so I'm a big fan of that backup plan, right? Like, you don't have terrestrial cell coverage. There's no towers around. I don't know, you're 30 miles away from the nearest tower site. You had to make a call. You would just route over the satellite connection on your smartphone. You don't have to buy a separate satellite phone. You don't have to, have a separate plan for it or anything like that. It's just built in. You've got it included, and, it just works seamlessly. Now, how AT&T is going to do this, I don't know. Is AT&T going to charge you by the minute? Pete, you remember the night and weekend minutes with AT&T? Maybe they'll do that, So I have no idea. But I will tell you guys this. While AT&T and AST got a good thing going on, and while T-Mobile and SpaceX have a good thing going on with respect to the satellite network thing, Verizon literally doesn't want to do it. Verizon wants no parts of this. Now, previously we had speculated, right? We had no reason to believe it was happening for sure. We speculated that the relationship between Verizon and Amazon might yield something that could involve phones at some point. It looks like that's not going to happen. So the Project Kuiper thing that's going on with Verizon, I think that's going to end up being a backhaul deal only. I don't think we're ever going to see that whole cell phone thing. Literally verbatim from Verizon, they said it doesn't make business sense for them to invest resources, allocate spectrum, dump money into the satellite investment just to get some people, some connections in these random moments. Because what they're basically saying is you'll hardly ever need it. You'll hardly ever be connected to it. Why put in all these resources for it? They basically said, get an iPhone and you'll have connectivity on SOS. That's what Verizon said. And look, you run the business metrics and you're just like, that's okay, But here's the thing, and this is what I said in my video. What if I don't have an iPhone? What if I'm an Android person? I don't have, Apple SOS on my Galaxy or on my Pixel or on my Moto or whatever phone I got. So basically Verizon's telling you got to have an iPhone on our network if you're going to be out in the middle of Boone's Farm with no signal, you're trying to call or text or whatever, you're going to be doing it over SOS on the iPhone. So here's the quote from Joe Russo, who is the network president. He said, certainly we care and we pay attention to it. He's talking about space-based connectivity, the satellites. The quote extends on. He says, we like that Apple has already enabled it. The iPhone 14 and 15, which serves a large percentage of customers if they need the SOS service. So basically Verizon says, get an iPhone 14 or 15 and you'll have the SOS feature. They don't want to invest into satellite. The business model is, you look at what T-Mobile's doing, is T-Mobile's giving PCS spectrum away from their terrestrial network and they're putting it, to the SpaceX Starlink service, right? They're launching gear that's up on the satellites that broadcasting those licenses. Happy Friday, Tech. Yeah, so and I think AT&T with AST, I don't think AT&T is utilizing any of their own spectrum. I think AST is going to be doing that, right? So they've got a little bit of a different approach to theirs. Maybe that's something that Verizon explores at a later time, but as of right now, Verizon doesn't like the business of this. They don't like the numbers, the metrics, don't support it. So they're out on direct to satellite. So shout out to Big Lou, if you want satellite connectivity, you're going to either get it from AT&T or you are going to get it from T-Mobile. You will not be getting it from Verizon. Verizon said, get your ass an iPhone and use their SOS. That's it. EM says, what's the ROI on this project? There it is. I mean, that's the main question. It's the return on investment. You're going to dump, $1 billion into a project that's going to connect folks less than 1% of the time. Maybe less than 0.5% of the time. Yeah. So that's that. Okay. Big news. Oh, man. Big T-Mobile news. I've been seeing it all over Twitter. The artist formerly known as X. Everybody is talking about this story. T-Mobile is turning up more 2.5 gigahertz spectrum, gains speed boosts. All right, let's see what this is. T-Mobile has taken the first step in adding the spectrum to its ultra-capacity 5G service that it won in an FCC auction 2 years ago. During the next few days, the carrier says that it will activate spectrum covering almost 60 million people in areas of almost 300,000 square miles. The spectrum was won in FCC Auction 108. It is the 2.5 gigahertz mid-band range, which is considered to offer an optimal balance between speed and coverage. Ultra capacity is T-Mobile's branding for service that operates in this band. For those of you keeping track of the bands at home, it is N41. The company will activate more spectrum as new towers are built. Okay, they're going to densify. Cool. We're into that. The new spectrum will both bring service to previously unserved areas and boost coverage where ultra-capacity 5G already is available. The new spectrum eventually will serve an area covering more than 80 million pops, T-Mobile announced today. That's a lot of people, so this is going to be a difference maker. Thanks to years of planning, T-Mobile is ready to put the spectrum to use right now for millions of our customers, delivering game-changing ultra-capacity 5G to more people and increasing speed and performance for others, according to T-Mobile CEO Mike Sievert in their press release. The spectrum auction was conducted in 2022. T-Mobile invested $304 million in the auction, obtaining over 7,000 county-based licenses in these white space areas, majority of which are in rural. T-Mobile said that it has licenses in every U.S. county now. All right, guys. So what exactly is going to be the outcome? What does this do for you? What does it do for me? What does it do for the people in these places? The way the article makes it sound is that people are going to have new coverage. Not exactly. I doubt it's going to give many people more coverage. What it is going to do is make it feel like there's more coverage. What it's actually doing is it's going to create more capacity. It's going to make the network faster, right? In areas where T-Mobile maybe previously only had 37 megahertz, 47 megahertz, 80 megahertz of N41. Now they'll have 120, 160, 180, right? They'll get a boost. They'll get more spectrum. More spectrum means more capacity because you have more bandwidth. Now, if I remember correctly, I've had some conversations with Zero Cool on this. In some instances, when you widen the channels and the bandwidth gets wider, you get more bandwidth, you could turn up power on some of these channels. So that's, I suppose, could help with the reach a little bit. In my opinion, I think that's just going to be a quality of signal improvement. So like I said, it might feel like the coverage is improving, but really it's going to be the quality of the connection that's improving, and you're getting more speed. To follow up, who is going to benefit? The folks that are using their mobile lines, their wireless service, they'll benefit because these tower sites will be less prone to congestion, right? So that's the first benefit. The second benefit is the redundancy, right? It's going to be a more resilient network that's, more apt to be able to serve more folks. Another thing that it's going to do is it's going to support fixed wireless access. That's probably the biggest thing that T-Mobile wanted this for. The fact that now you can open up your tower sites, your sectors, to additional usage on the network from the T-Mobile 5G home internet. So you're going to add more customers to the fixed wireless access service, the 5G home internet. So T-Mobile can, add, 10 folks onto this sector, 5 folks onto this sector, and, they'll be able to monetize their network. And if you're selling people on 5G home internet, you're selling them on wireless service. It's that whole convergence thing. It really is a win-win situation for everybody. Think about this, right? T-Mobile wins because they can sell more services and improve their ARPA, average revenue per account. And then for the people of these areas that have been getting railroaded by cable companies and satellite providers, now they got a new competitor who can come in and probably give them a better deal and possibly even a better service. It's possible that the T-Mobile 5G home internet might be better than a DSL connection. It's possible that it could be better than a crappy cable company. Those things are real. Yep. And Pete's mentioning, less white space means it can broadcast further. Yeah, cleaner signals. We like those. Yeah, they run the power for the neighboring cell sites with the white space. I see this winning, being a win-win in so many different ways. All right, Ricky says he's going to be doing skunky testing to show after they'll add it, and it will still suck. I don't think so, Ricky. I think this is going to help a lot of people. Look, if you don't like it, it's fine. If it's not great where you are, I believe you, and I know that it's happened. But Rick, I'm telling you, man, this is going to be big for some people, man. And there are some people who have been just waiting for another service provider option. And this will be the catalyst that gives them that opportunity. Come on, Rick, you mean to tell me that if a cable operator was charging you $100 a month for a service that was down every 2 hours, you wouldn't explore your options if you had one? And it's very possible that not only will T-Mobile beat their price, but T-Mobile might beat their performance. How many DSL networks can give you 200 megabits per second? How many and how many can give you more than 10 megabits per second on uplink? I think most cases 5G home internet from T-Mobile can give you that. They can give you 200 megabits down. They can give you 20 megabits up. By the way, the new gateways from T-Mobile support antennas, right? So it may even help to improve your signal. So now you got extra bandwidth. You got an improved gateway. A lot of good things happening there, And don't forget, folks, this will be kind of like the last piece, and I'll close off with this. Not only is T-Mobile doing this, right, getting the additional white space licenses of the 2.5 from Spectrum Auction 108, but they're also moving LT spectrum over to 5G NR. That's great. That's awesome, because that adds to the NR channel aggregation and improving speeds as well. And, let's be honest, man. The LT network for T-Mobile hasn't always been the greatest. So maybe the move to 5G is just a much better move, right? So here's what happened in my market. There are no white space licenses in Cuyahoga County for them to get, right? So that's, for those of you that don't know, that's the name of the county in which Cleveland resides. They just moved the last 40 megahertz of LT band 41 over to 5G N41. So we went from 140 megahertz to 180. So now it used to be a 100 megahertz channel plus a 40. Now it's a 100 megahertz channel plus an 80. And then they're also doing 20 megahertz of N25, 15 megahertz of N71, right? So I got all this bandwidth on NR now. My Samsung Galaxy S24 does 4-channel aggregation on the T-Mobile network. So I'm connecting to what? 180, 200, 215 megahertz of bandwidth. You put that on a 10 gig fiber circuit, you are cooking with gas. Ricky says, I just tested T-Mobile SA6 carrier aggregation and it sucked. 200 megahertz and speed did not hit a gig. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to hit a gig. It could be a lot of usage on the network. You know what I mean, Rick? Could still be good, right? I mean, Ricky, does a network have to be 1 gigabit down in order for it to be good? Come on, man, call a spade a spade. It doesn't have to be 1 gig down, right? Now, if it's off peak, your expectation, it should be really, really fast. But with usage and all those things, it's not gonna be, gigabit speed. All right. Damn, Rick. Always tough, man. With slicing, you won't. Yeah, that's true, Pete. That's true. All right. Man, that was a good show, man. You guys are awesome. Appreciate the commentary in the chat, the live chat. You guys are the best. Hey, if you're new here, if this is your first time here on the SMT YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Come back to watch more content. See us for another pod, another live stream. Come hang out. Be a part of the SMT Nation. Salute to all my subscribers and viewers here on the channel. Big shout out to my patrons. I always do shout outs to my patrons. To everybody out there that is directly supporting the SMT, whether you're buying me a coffee or you're a Patreon supporter or a YouTube member, thank you for all that you do to support us. Y'all the goats. Let's do our best hashtags. Big shout out to my mods, all the blue wrenches out there. Hashtag mod squad. Big shout out to all the folks out there eating dinner, snacking while they're listening, watching the show. All right, hashtag ravioli gang. Hashtag 2Live crew. Hashtag replay crew for everybody on the replay. Thank you guys for being the goats of the SMT Nation. And, whatever you guys end up doing this weekend, I hope you enjoy it. Spend time with friends, family. Hopefully the weather's getting good where you're at. We're starting to kind of hit the springtime here in the CLE. Me and the fam going to be outside more with the little ones. It's going to be a fun time. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of the weekend. We shall see you all on the next live stream and videos.